niggas, niggas. Now what we in here on occasion of my boy ScrewDay. Yeah, we in there, man. Ready. You know, we got the fam. I need to give me a picture of Pat. I ain't did that yet, but yeah, we ain't got the Hawk in there with me. That boy, one of the baddest album covers ever, boy. That goddamn Hawky. That damn big head Hawkins. Yeah, man. Boy, I can. Yeah, we ain't getting to that, but I can. This shit is off the chain. But anyway, so yeah, man. So today is the 8th day of the 8th month, right, of 2026. To my knowledge, this has been named DJ ScrewDay, Robert Earl, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. Rightfully so. I just think that, you know, like I say, man, you just start out, not to start, I'm trying to start off on a bad note, but, and this is his Lily shit right here. You see this? This is feminine side shit. What I mean by that is, not because wearing chapstick is feminine, but Lilith is a feminine entity. One of the things she catches, she's synonymous with kissing, which goes back to the kissing-motion thing, kissing the lips. So don't think I'm sitting here wishing this was lipstick or some shit. You know, I'm just, you know, I've been doing the pads of burning things. I don't want niggas thinking, you know how niggas getting their little weird minds and shit. Where you know, so look at him, he's putting the chapstick on. He thinks he's putting lipstick. Keep that ass nigga. Nigga goes. There's so many ass niggas out here, man. Lately, I've been on one, boy. I really ain't even been giving. Boy, I just sit here and went off on niggas, boy. I probably niggas careers. We ain't gonna get into that. This, niggas ain't shit, man. When you get to really look at this shit that's going on around here, these niggas ain't shit. Tell Summer said it. Anyway, yeah. But yeah, man, back to my boy, man. But yeah, they gave me. But yeah, that's why. That's what that is about. You never know, man. You might get one of these sexy ladies might get to experience the flavor of a player. But so we got 3 DJ Screw events over the summer. So we got Demo birthday, June 27th. Shout out to Demo. We got Screw birthday, which is right after that. And then now we got DJ ScrewDay, which is fitting because, you know, 8 is the H letter, H is the 8th letter of the alphabet, you know, Houston. So a lot of Houston shit going on. I just wish, you know, I always just find it funny, man. You know, people just went hard on June 27th, and then when the man actually, you know, birthday come around, you know, just crickets and shit. So, but we'll take this one now. So, I guess I'll start off. I'm gonna jump into some other things as well. Well, Lee and Selena came through this morning. As well as McKinfro, Okaya, Cassie Yapple, you know, their birthdays tomorrow. Her, Whitney. Shout out to Whit, man. Auntie, man. In a real way. Yeah. Yeah, today was one of the mornings, man, because I woke up and I was laying in the bed, and that Leah, this nigga here, man, be moving. What I tell you, this nigga is like, she must have been on Ghost when Patrick Swayze found out how to move the penny and shit. Yeah, this nigga, she found out how to move shit. Well, she been on it like that. I'll tell you another story. But this is why I'm saying that I woke up this morning and shit, and you know I got her also with her, but not just her. It's her, you know, Lefty, Mo, and Donna Sum. I got them all like on the same altar with her. And I woke up and shit, and I heard some rambling under the fucking. Then I got them on the you know, the dresser or a drawer. So it's them on the top, and you got the two cases or whatever. And so, well, I heard some shit around. I said, "What the fuck is that?" Nigga must be up to something over there. Shit, you know, I can get up and look and shit. I'm kind of used to this shit. So I think I went back, kind of dozed back out and shit, and I woke up. And when I got up, I walked out. You know, I went to the, you know, do the morning shit, use the restroom and shit, went to the kitchen and all that. But I was thinking about Selena. And now I'm telling you this because this is, like I said, you might wonder why does he keeps telling all these ghost stories and shit. I'm telling you shit because I'm not the only one. You may have either you. I'm showing you how to realize when motherfuckers is trying to get in contact with you because it could be a reason. So you know, I can sit here and talk about books, which I do that shit too, and read, and be scholastic with you as well. I don't think I can do that shit, but I'm saying this shit here is just as important too because. See, the spirits are like, once your third eye open up, or your first eye, and you illuminating, you can get the spirits like moth to a flame, you know how you see moth around a light and shit like that, it's kind of like that. That's why I'm telling niggas, if your shit ain't on, you can't really have no, you ain't really protected around this motherfucker, because the spirit can't see your light, so you just living off your wits and shit, and anything can happen to you when you living like that. That's why this shit is important. That's why Kundalini activation is very, very important. Believe that shit. But now I'm gonna show you how this shit happened. So, I got up, and then when I went, I walked past. It was this animal TV show on television and shit. Someone told me to stop and check it out. When I stopped and looked at it, it was like this sea turtle called a leatherback. Now they said these motherfuckers can get up to like half a ton or some shit like that. So you know, I'm sitting there checking the boy out, but he was shooting one crawling up out of the water and shit. And they said they come out the sea to lay the eggs and shit or whatnot. So for one, like I said, you got a deity called Cassiopeia. Now when you go look it up, it's Kasyapa, Cassiopeia. But it's Cassiopeia is when you look it up, it's a male deity, but that doesn't necessarily mean that. So it ain't like how we look at it. Like, you know, this shit is androgynous. So how's that her? Or how's that something to do with her? And it's a male deity and she was female. But first and foremost, your soul is androgynous. Them motherfuckers they'll come to you how you recognize them. But them motherfuckers also something else. There's other shit that can happen where they can come to you via a male, like somebody that you, fucking my shit. Somebody that may have made somebody say one of your kin folks, people make the transition and shit, right? Of course they gonna, if they trying to make contact with you, of course they gonna come at you, come to you in a form that you recognize them in, right? But the more advanced you get, and the more you come to the understanding that it's deeper than just that they have many soul incarnations of them. You might have a dream about a motherfucker, a real in-depth dream about somebody one night, and then wake up and like, what the fuck was that? You know, because they may not tell you who they are in that dream. And you might have a dream the next morning and see one of your relatives that made a transition. And they're like, yeah, motherfucker, that was me in that other dream. That was me in the past incarnation. That's how I looked when we was together many moons ago in another lifetime. Outside of the one you currently recognize me for. Shit like that I have. And one of them might be, it might be your auntie or some shit that you remember from this lifetime. But in that dream, the first dream, it probably been a fucking dude. And then the next dream you have, or the person the form you recognize me in, they'll be like, yeah, motherfucker, that was me. And another night, I just had to come tell you this shit, but that's how it is. But for the most part, since you more familiar with them, in the form that you last seen them in, they'll pretty much come to you dealing with you in way and form and things that you remember them for in this life or whatever. Especially in this from this incarnation right here, because this like the incarnations that people took in this last past, we just throw a number on a couple hundred years or some shit like that. Last past, we'll just say 60, 70 years, or 80 years, 100 or something like that. We'll just say 100 just to keep it, you know, whatever. Just to keep it not to get too crazy with the shit. Is very important. Just like me right now, this is a very, this is just called the Kimra. We define the faces. So people that are really spiritual who transition from this lifetime or whatever, the life, like Pac and all them people believe in shit, the form that they took in this incarnation right here is like a real, it's like real, there's something special about them. Let's put it like that. And if I find better ways to explain it, I will. But so as soon as I see the turtle, I said, okay, this nigga here birthday tomorrow. You know, they birthday on the same day. They birthday on the same day, and I can see that it makes sense too. I can see them niggas. You know, they knew each other in this lifetime, like personally. Them two niggas would hang out. I can see it. So it makes all the sense in the world that the niggas, that's just like Hunter Lee. I'm just gonna fuck me up. You think it's a game like a Hunter Lee type. It's a picture of I think I got it in one of my, I think it's on my other phone, my old phone. I had to go get that. But it's a picture of Aaliyah and Kadada. And it bugs me up every time I see it, because in the picture, Kadada look just like this nigga here, man. She got the bandana on and shit. Every time no matter how many times I scroll past that fucking picture, every time I see it, I have to snap. It take me for about 2 seconds. I be thinking that's Cassie's motherfucking ass. I be having to snap out of that shit. And she look just like this nigga. Not just, but at a glance, you be like, God damn. I know this shit is. But anyway, so I see that. Now, the dude, you know, the narrator, he started, you know, breaking down the science on the leatherback turtle, and he was saying that, you know, they get up to a half a ton, and he said their ancestry goes back millions of years. As soon as he said that, I said dinosaur. And as soon as he said a million years, I said dinosaur. And he said a million, 100 million years, blah, blah, all the way back, dating all the way back to the dinosaur. I said, I told you, that's Selena. And you're like, well, what's Selena got to do with that? Well, first and foremost, when Selena first came through, she came through in purple, through the color purple. No reference to the movie, but through the color purple. But maybe I need to go watch it. I don't like something about that movie. I don't want to watch this fucking movie. I don't know why. But anyway, don't ask me why. But do the color purple, because when she first came through, the first sign was her was that performance of her and the last performance, the last performance she did, I think in Astrodome, and all purple or whatnot. So you know it. I didn't even go check to see when she came through. That same video, I was breaking down how she told me to go look at she go watch that old Kid Frost video, Late Night Rendezvous, and the dude bring up San Bernardino, and which took me back to Bobby saying we burnt the dinosaurs up, but we had burnt the dinosaurs up because they were too big for us to live around. It was like we was on the planet at the same time with them, but we wasn't all the way physical yet. But we knew we was coming into more of a physical frame, so we can live with them then. Like we was like ghosts and shit, damn near. I'm gonna have to get on that science of that predator too. It was some about that. About that movie, cause Predator is what you see in the movie Predator is the black man. He represents the black man. That's why he got the dreads and shit. But we knew we was gonna end up manifesting more physically. So what I come to the conclusion based on that, well, I said I know what it was. Whatever the dinosaurs were, they served a perfect purpose, ecologically speaking, to the earth. But by them being too big for us to live around as physical beings that we was about to become, we had to burn. When he said burn them, basically we were saying, well, you could say burn them down, but we had to take them and break them down into smaller specimens that we can actually live around. So that's why you have shit like lizards and shit, and Komodo dragons, and snakes and shit, all like reptiles and shit. That all comes from that. Because we couldn't totally get rid of them, because whatever they serve a purpose ecologically. So he just said they burnt them up, but I came to the conclusion when I took what he said and I look around at the shit that resembles them on the planet now. When you get into science, you know that everything has some type of purpose in regards to the ecological system. So I said, I know what happened. We broke that shit down. We broke them down so that we can live around them. And shit, to this day, it's still motherfucking shit. You out there in the goddamn rainforest and shit. You bump into your ass might be on the menu and shit. So that ain't no fucking. But you'll even see it in the video game Rampage, when you see King Kong, Godzilla, and the werewolf or whatever, which is who you play with in the game. But once you get hit and die, or whatever, you turn into whatever each they don't turn into smaller. They turn into small humans, which that's science too. But they shrink or whatever so they go from being King Kong, then they shrink into a small human or whatever or whatnot. But but I was thinking about Selena before I was thinking about Selena like yesterday. Some she was on my mind or whatever, and then I saw that brought it to mind. And then when I came back in my room, I looked over there by the altar and I seen papers that was in the cabinet or in the dresser or whatever. Basically, it's a bookshelf, but that was on the bottom shelf or whatever. But they was on the ground. So I'm like, damn. I knew I was over there the other day, but I don't know. I remember grabbing what I want, but I didn't remember the shit falling on the ground like that. So I'm like, damn, did niggas put that shit on the ground like that? 'Cause I don't remember that shit being like that last night. But I did hear the papers and shit rambling over there earlier. So when I went over there and looked, and some shit I had wrote in purple, like 3 pieces of paper or some shit I had wrote in purple or whatever. Hold up. Yeah. This is going to thing. See. Okay. Now, 2 of them was one shit written in purple. Now, I don't understand one. I don't totally get too crazy with this shit. 2 of them was just rhymes. And in one of these rhymes, I made a reference to Teddy Russell. Keep that in mind. We're going to go and see what this shit rhyme with it. But, yeah. Like I said, it's just paper. I don't I got shit everywhere over here. But, so, 2 of them is rhymes, and one of them was some notes I had for when I did my Ninja Turtle breakdown. I just, like I said, I didn't even. This is the paper with the Ninja Turtle breakdown right here. But when I looked at it this morning, I didn't pay no mind to the top. I just looked at this part. This is written in blue, but I just looked at this part, and this shit is heavy. I don't know what I was thinking when I did that, but Michelangelo was one had blue, had purple, and the rest of this is purple. I guess that's Leonardo and Donatello shit mixed. But no. And then the top is the outer limits. Now the outer limits is which Leah told me to double down on that fucking rites of passage shit. So then she said, and it's something, who it is or what the fuck going on. But this nigga is really somebody out here who she used to do cool with eating pork or some shit. And something, because she studied. I told her, I'm not going to keep beating niggas. You want to eat that bullshit personally, whatever. I done told you, my stance on it. But this nigga, she keep coming through. Somebody must be eating. She keep stressing that shit. Or maybe this shit is just that fucked up. But I think it's somebody, if you used to hang with a Leah, used to hang with a Leah, and you still eating that bullshit, she would really try to get off that shit. That shit should be like watching Fear Factor. Now, you pork, that shit. Oh, no, what happened? He's biting into it. No, he just putting the pork in it. Cut that shit off. That shit is like watching Fear Factor. Oh my God. He's putting the pork, nigga in the kitchen and you were there watching. You go, what is he biting into? No, he got to that point. He's sticking the pork in it. It's disgusting. I'll change the channel. I couldn't watch no more. That shit is disgusting. Especially pork, all that shit, really, but especially pork chop. All of it. Don't get no bones about it. At least bacon is just a little thin strip. Boy, that thick hunk. Oh, can't do it. That is disgusting. Oh, that's some disgusting shit, boy. That's why I just be thinking back how I used to throw that shit up. I'm like, that's why I used to throw that nasty shit up. But yeah, stop eating that shit. She is not bullshitting. I know it's her, because I don't, I told you niggas, I hawked on that shit. When she first came through, that's why she came through. That's why when she came through in the winter, I was hell-bent on telling you niggas shit. I let it alone and shit. And that shit she been coming back through lately. And every time she been coming through lately. Man, tell them niggas again, stop eating that bullshit. You want to drink milk and shit, fucking, that's your business. But that shit, that's a pork shit. That shit ain't gonna get it, man. That must be worse than I thought. that shit. But anyway, but the outer limit, see, this shit is some shit from about 5 years ago. But they got the outer limits on here, which is what I was talking about. The episode, that one episode with Melissa Lino, where she was when she was hijacked by the vast energy, but they portrayed it as a. We gonna get into that shit too. If not, keep remember this shit. Oh, there we go. Cause I did this a second. So this is take 2. I was getting on Ancient Aliens ass on that show there. First 48 and Ancient Aliens, I can kind of stomach Ancient Aliens. First 48, I can't stomach that shit. I can't watch that bullshit. You know, that's like, hell nah. Ancient Aliens, I sit there because you can get a little, not really, they be playing like idiots on that. So I really look at them just to make fun of them motherfuckers. I be like, you stupid motherfuckers. I'm not, let me stop. Because maybe they just don't know. So I don't want to. But I be saying, you motherfuckers are misleading people. You know goddamn well the fucking extraterrestrials ain't nothing but niggas. You still trying to make people believe some shit coming from out of the sky. But then I was breaking that down. I was saying that in the other version when I did the first tape. But I decided I took too much time speaking on some shit that wasn't relevant to School Zooter. So I said, nah, I'll save that for another day. But I will speak on that. Don't get me fucked up. Stop here again. But I'm just now paying attention to this shit. Cause like I said, I didn't, I just seen these two really, saw the purple. When I saw the purple, I thought Selena, because I know I've been thinking about Selena Saturday. When Selena first came through Heavy, it was on a Saturday. And I always think about Saturdays and Selena, because Saturday, for some reason, I think about Mexican music, Tejano music, I should say. I think that's the right. I know they got different versions of Spanish music, but for some reason, Spanish music always reminds me of Saturdays. But I told y'all the story about that, why. But I told you why before. But so I saw the purple. I didn't pay too much attention. But then you got the Outer Limit shit right here, which is a TV show where that one episode, Alyssa Milano got possessed by that alien thing, and she was going around having sex with the guys and then killing them. And basically, what it was representing was the fucking sexual energy, of the vast energy, all that puberic energy when it comes online, which has to be checked, or it would run wild, which is what you see a lot of today in men and women, but especially in women, but men and women. It just comes at the killing part, not literally killing. It's that the killing that they show you in the movie is basically just representative of how unchecked sexual energy without that rites of passage causes chaos and destruction and shit. It can be a destructive energy. That's why everything is so fucked up when you speak about sex these days, and sexuality is so can be such a nuisance these days because we don't do it right. We're not introduced into the art of it the right way. Therefore, that's why we have all this bullshit. Let me hurry up and get the screws in. But anyway, so yeah. So when they say back to the dinosaurs, I said there's another example of what I was telling you. That turtle is just a miniature version of its ancestor, which was a fucking dinosaur or some shit, or a giant version of what he is today and shit. That's what that was on. So shout out to Selena as well, So yeah. Now, let's get into some screw talk. Now this, I bumped into my dear friends like Fridays after his birthday. I was reading this is Ancient Egypt Black of the World. Now I told y'all he's a water deity, right? He's dig this right here. Let me see. All right, it says we'll start right here. En, which is En, later on UN, was an Egyptian name of inundation, meaning the great, the mighty, while this Tun or Tanu signifies that which rises up in revolt, the bursting forth from the gulf or well of the south. And basically what it's saying, what it's speaking on is, oh, there we go. Alright, so, now let me get that. So basically what it's speaking about is, now, the higher you get, the more etheric shit gets, right? So, this, let me get over here. So, you can see this shit better. But, so this would be the throat chakra, right? These two will probably be gases and shit. Ether, gas, or this would be ether, gas, or something. But each one of these has pertains to a certain element. We know for sure. Well, I would bet this the throat would pertain to water because it's blue, the blue chakra, right? Water, blue. So when you got two forms of the flood, or three really. You got the light that floods the center in the beginning, but we just let's stick to the water shit, that red water. So when all these line up, all the water evaporates out of the middle, and this becomes mist. And then when all this goes up, the water follows it and it freezes up, right? Then when the sun is created right here and shoots back down to this here, all that heat that the sun is bringing with it through the sphere, and this is the ice age. What you see, they tell you, oh, there was an ice age on Earth. Oh, that was in my take of it. The ice age is the ice age is just basically white people memorizing or remembering when they were in the caves and the cold and all that. On one hand, but ultimately the ice age, the different ages of the earth, and it's what now you have the 4 yugas and all that, but that would be the ice age. But when this goes when this comes back down, the water coming off of the moon while the sun is coming down is what first flooded the land. The water that bursts forth, when they talk about the water that's bursting forth, they're talking about it's rebelling against the condition of stiffness down here. So when the sun comes right here, all these 7 shoot up. So like I said, shoot the earth. The wind pushes the earth up while the sun sits here. And each one of these bursts out of the center and goes into its orbit. So this would be, all this right here would probably be water, or we just say this, let's say this right here, or maybe all three, who knows? We just know there's water coming from out of here. It's, if not the whole shit, because really all this shit is water. It's just these different, it's different elements up in here, or whatever. Because all this shit was sweating out, all the melanin was sweating down here, or whatever. So basically all the water that's bursting up from out of here, as this is shooting out, it's irrigating from out of here and flooding land. But at the same time, it's flooding the surface. But it's, as this is going up, there's certain parts of the land that's pushing up out of the surface. I mean, up out of the water and coming up out of the flood. And then there's certain parts where the water is staying, which would be the oceans and all that. This would be the fresh water. This would be the salt water. Because remember, when everything everything pretty much, everything. So when this goes up, when that light, the light that's coming up to create the lamp, meets with the melanin coming down, that melanin that right here in the center creates a powder, which will be the salt, which gets compressed and creates the backbone. Well, this is your physical body, you creating the backbone. But all the salt and stuff will be down here. So the water coming from the bottom will be where we get our salt water from. And the water coming from the top would be the sweet water or the fresh water. So that's what that is right there. Now, I ain't going to spend too much more time on that shit. But, so, let me see. So we glance at the river constellated on the celestial globe. We see Iridanis, thus rendered Iritana or Arutana will be the mighty river rising up in the inundation and bursting forth from out of the birthplace in the abyss. The abyss meaning the bowels of the earth, as it is depicted in the ritual. If we glance at the river constellated on the celestial globe, we see that the Eridanus runs one way from the foot of Orion to the star of Achernar, which has been called the end of the river. But if looked at the other way, Achernar marks the point of departure from the south towards the north. If this river represents the earthly Nile, the replica would naturally run the way of the original. That alone will explain the course of the water and its ending at the foot of Orion, who rises from the river as did Horus of the inundation coming out of Ethiopia or Equatoria, or from that ancient south in which the tip of the source tippet, the tippet is the tip hat, tip, the top, hotep, there's another word for hotep, the tip and the hat, no, it's upside down, the tip of the pillar and the hat or the hood, because it's spelled T-E-P-H-T. So you got the tip or tip of the hood, or the tip in the hood, or the tip in the hat, or whatnot. So, okay, so, from the ancient south from which the tip head of the source was localized at first as the water and afterwards configured in the stars that indicated the river of the inundation winding on its northward way. Other stars announced the coming of the Nile, or the birth of Horus in the water of the inundation. That the star Fax is Lakia, so little familiar to us northerners, is one of those conspicuous stars in the southern portion of the heavens, and its heliacal rising heralded the solstice in the rise of the Nile before the heliacal rising of Sirius was useful for the purpose. In fact, we have the star symbolized by the ancient Egyptians under the name of the god, in fact. Now, when it's saying in fact, it's not saying in fact like in fact. It's saying the fact, the star fact is symbolizing. But when it says in fact, we have the star symbolized by the ancient Egyptians. So we're saying that Sirius is being symbolized by the star fact, by the ancient Egyptians under the name of the goddess Tiki, who figure leads the procession of the months. And the Arabic name of the stars, the star fact, is named a word that signifies the thigh. And the thigh was an Egyptian type of the birthplace, as we shall find it also figured in Egypt, as well as the northern heaven. See, I'll show you how, even this shit here is showing you, I can tell you emotion about that, but I'm gonna probably say that one, but yeah, man. Get the book, man. Get the book. Yeah, I can straighten my thigh, all this shit. This is all connected. You think I'm just sitting here bumping my gums about it? Me and Screw, that being my goddamn famaloso, I can struggle through this spiritual shit. But, here it denotes the place of birth and hold on. South, okay. As we shall find, it also figured that okay, in North Heaven. Here it denotes a place of birth, and a god is in the month Tot or Tahuti, equivalent to our July 20th, which is Screw's birthday. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, it's that month. But this month in the earlier star calendar, it is called the goddess Tiki or Tik or Tekha. Just to remind me of Jonathan Cincinnati, man, high tech, Tekha, T-E-K-H-I, an Egyptian word for liquid to supply with drink, and Tiki is the month of inundation. That's where you get your whole Hawaiian thing from, which that shit is I've always been fond. That's like I've always been fond of Hawaii. I might find me a little Leilani around. A little Leilani with a ukulele. A little Leilani playing a ukulele around this bitch. But I always I even got one of my I got a song that I'm working on that deals with that. Before I even I read this shit before, but I didn't have it in mind when I was doing it in Hawaii. There's some others, but Screw been having this is long anyway. But yeah, so Tek or Tiki is an Egyptian word for liquid to supply with drink, and Tiki is the month of inundation. But the month Tiki or Tot was not named from its first beginning of the inundation. So the previous month, the last of the 12 in the sacred year, was named Missouri or Missouri from Mes, which means from Mes or birth, and later Erie, the inundation, the birth or the inundation. So Missouri basically refers to, and if I'm not mistaken, Screw was staying in Missouri City before he passed away, if I'm not mistaken, right? You see, indeed, hey, maybe I'm wrong. What, Quinn Meadows and shit? That's one of the guys. So Missouri, shit is off the chain. Missouri basically is referring to the breaking of the water when a woman is giving birth as well. No, it's not about that inundation shit. So anyway, the actual birth of the river is marked in the last month of the Egyptian year instead of the first. The question being, at what point, of course, did the actual birth take place? The birth of water of Horus Ictus had been indicated by the star Fomalhaut at the fish's mouth. The star Fact, which is Phact, was I had a thing with that the other day too. I'm going to do the numerology on it. Some came from that last Saturday. Was a herald of Horus in the inundation cannabis. The pilot of Argo Mavis showed that Horus was on board the ark or on his cradle of the papyrus plant, and the dog star Sophis was later the guide of the watchers of the heavens in Egypt. If the arrival of the inundation at some particular point is dated by the heliacal rising of the dog star in the month of Tiki or Tot, the name of the previous month shows the birth of the waters was reckoned to be earlier. Now, that's key because when I caught Series B passing up or eclipsing Series A, it was in July, about a week after the 4th in 2016. So, and I'm going to stop right there. You know, some of this shit you into the book. You niggas not going to get that work. I'm going to hope. I'm going to make sure I know I've been speaking for a while, but I'm going to make, you might be like, oh, you've heard it all. Make sure I'm gonna keep some shit to the side. Make sure you read this bitch. You say, oh my fucking God. Just when you thought you heard it all. Heard it all before. No, you switch. No, mother one. You're gonna go get that shit. Yeah, I hope you niggas get shit. If you treat my book like you treat my fucking Instagram page and shit, and the likes and shit, you know, it's me writing a fucking book. You niggas are not gonna go get that. That's how I was going. Shit. But I ain't gonna lie. Them niggas gonna touch that. Well, shout out to the 4 niggas that do though. 4 with a few, about 5. You know, few people like shit. Most of the time, most of them niggas will not hit that like button. Them niggas not doing it. I don't know what it is. Who them niggas scared of? Hell, all this other shit. They will not hit that like button. No. Who y'all niggas scared of? They ain't fucking with me. I tell you that much. So you scared for nothing. If that's the case. Other than that, I don't know. I don't give a fuck. As long as you get the message, who give a fuck? Yeah, that's the other shit is bullshit. I be thinking like, what's the use of doing this thing? These niggas act like they scared to support a nigga or some shit. But anyway, so yeah, man, I just want to show y'all niggas bullshit. I got paperwork on this shit. I'm not just coming out here with no fucking wild claim. No, I got the fucking shit, and I'm a water nigga too. My sign is an earth sign. I'm all this shit, but yeah, I'm gonna save some of that shit for the book because I don't even know what I got some. I don't even know how some of this shit is getting formulated into a book. I got probably about 2-3 lanes of books and shit too. So I don't know. Who knows? We'll get to that later. I just want to show that part. Show you since they, today. Man, it's a good day too because 88 HH. And like I said, you got the 8 in the top, 8 at the bottom. That's why 6 ladies running mates and dice because with these 8 up here, when this disconnects from there, and this one goes in there, that's 1. That one goes in there, that's 2. Then those going in there, that's 3. Then that's 4. That's 5, and that's 6. So it takes 6 absorptions to get to the top. Then the last one goes up in there, that's 7, but that'll be just 6 and 8. 6, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, really 7. It'll be 6, but the 6 absorption will be the last within the spear, and then that's when it'll hop out to the 7. So it'll be 6 absorption and the 8 down here. 6 and 8. Running mates and shit. So, yeah. Other than on that, I thought I would share that with y'all. So we got 10 minutes left. So we'll. But yeah, man. So yeah. But to take it back to like I said, if you just watching this, you need to go watch the Home for the Holiday series. You'll see the whole mythology of ScrewDay, bad motherfucker. Plus, it's fitting today being a Saturday because that one time, like I said, about 2 years ago, they came through. I'll probably show that on another one, but I got a video on Instagram with them. I went and got some Popeyes. I ate that shit. Came back, wasn't even trying. And I did a video for Instagram, and I was like, what's up, world? But when I say this shit, I sound like screw when I say that. And then I started talking about dancing, which Mo is known for in this disco Danny form. But when I started talking about dancing, I started sounding like Mo. But that's what it was. It was Screw coming in and Mo. This shit sounded like a screw, apart from a screw tape, but it was on a Saturday. So all this shit is going together. But yeah, man. Like I say, man, I'm not even gonna get in front of this camera and I would love to see people. I guess I kind of missed that boat a little bit with you know when I know people start really getting into music being slowed down when you know, we had a little spurt. First it was Flip. First it was Want to Be a Baller with Young. I think Young went worldwide. Then I think Want to Be a Baller and all that shit came around the same time. So you got a little taste there. And then a little bit before that, Rap City gave us a little shot of light. Because I remember they came down here and who they chopped it up with. I know 3-2 was 3-2 and a few other guys from SUC, and then but that didn't really make too much of it. But you know then Flip kind of, when Flip kicked the door down though, really when Flip, he paved the way for, shout out to Michael Watts, the peace be upon his name, but shout out to Michael Watts, man. But he paved the way for that when that 0405 when Swisher House really, I was locked up, and now I may not now I don't listen to, that's the closest I listen to Watts is, no disrespect, this just being honest, I don't listen to the tapes, because I don't even, the only reason I even listen, I listen to the guys that come from the branch of Screw that's doing it now, just to get a semblance of what some of this stuff would sound like, that Screw wasn't around to really mix up or whatever. But for the most part, I don't know, it ain't even got nothing to do with South Side, North Side. It's the skill set. Like, if like once you meet, then like ain't nobody do it like Screw Zoo to Paul. That nigga, that's the, once you come in the game on Screw Zoo, but see, the rest of the world don't get that part. They think that, so everybody, I can tell, they think that just because it's slowed down, you know, it's the thing. It's like, no, this is it's screwed up. It's like, no, just like Screw said, and he had a point. He said, you know, at first they was fucked up about, he was fucked up about everybody else doing this shit. And I guess he got to the point where he feel like he's probably started feeling like, well, you know, there's a trend, just like rap started in New York, and we started doing this shit and whatever. But you know, but the difference between Screw and a lot of guys started doing it. You had a lot of guys that probably wasn't necessarily DJs. They just was in it for the slowing it down and saying, well, this is a way to make some money and whatever, because you can tell these guys wasn't DJs, especially when they got to the damn CD era. Now, Michael Watts was actually a DJ before he's an actual DJ or whatever. And I don't know how good his, you know, his scratching skills and shit is outside of his tapes or whatever. But I wasn't a fan of the. I don't think he was his chopping and all that was close enough to Screw, you know, or whatever. And I'm just being honest. I ain't trying to diss the man. I'm just being honest. But the movement, as far as the label and the guys, you know, Paul and Mike and Magno and Big Tyke, and Big Tyke, that was like, Tyke was like one of the he's one of the first one of the first to really just, and it's a kind of a lineage connection to that too, because the cats that I went to the club with the night when I found out Aaliyah passed, I found out she passed while I was in the club with her. The cats that I went to that club with, they were, you know, I don't know where none of them at now, but it's just guys that ended up, I was selling grass to, but I ended up getting cool because they stayed in my apartments. So, you know, we ended up getting cool or whatever, but it wasn't just really none of my immediate people like that or whatever. So it was kind of like a fly-by-night thing, you know. It was around for like a couple months, and I think they moved or something. But we ended up going to, but it was through them who I heard Big Type album from. It's still old phone. Still old phone. I like that shit right there. I said, boy, that's going on in that old. That little Big Type. But nah, them boys, they asked, them guys was spitters though, like Chameleon now. Can't forget that nigga. That boy, Live 5. So, this ain't no, he's biased because he's from the South Side. Nah, it ain't that. It's I don't give a fuck if a nigga if you, because it's an art form. Therefore, by him being the trendsetter or setting the trend, the object becomes, well, even if I don't, because I'm the type of nigga, bro, I don't want it. I'm like, nigga, we used to be riding, nigga, get a car, because even, like I said, outsiders I know for sure can get confused, because even niggas in the city didn't get it a lot of the times. I got this ScrewDay, and put that bitch in, be riding and shit. And first and foremost, with the pitch off, I can tell just off the, for one, if it ain't got that crackling and shit, it's probably a CD. There's some bullshit going on right now. Two, and maybe it is some crackling and some violence. But if the pitch is off, because Screw got a certain, some niggas, you don't know that pitch, you might be a little too fast, you might be a little too slow, man. Something ain't right. Even if the pitch right, when you ride, you get them chop, you'll tell by that chop. But it's all, we want to take where too many songs go by, but I ain't saying some songs, 9 times out of 10 on the tape, it ain't gonna be too many fucking songs that pass by. Somebody grabbing that mic, hey, nigga, this Big Lenny and this bitch, or some shit like that. So about 4 or 5 songs pass by, ain't nobody talking, because that's when you really know if the somebody gonna get, or whoever tape it is, they gonna get on that bitch, yeah, man, you know what's going down, man, we in this bitch, you know what I'm saying? Bars and pulled up, and wham, oh yeah, it's going down. Yeah, nigga, it's wham. All that shit. But, I mean, there's too many songs pass by, and I gotta start wondering, hey, man, is this a real ScrewDay, bro? I don't fuck around. Yeah, nigga, and then some that nigga start chopping, oh, hell no, get this shit out my dick. I don't fuck around. That's just me. Some niggas don't wear certain shoes and shit. That's their preference. I'm like, hell no, nigga, get out my dick. I don't fuck around. Like I said, I ain't even get it to, till after he passed. I think Big Baby was doing them. That boy did that, put it on your booty. That was raw. I still remember that tape. With he bad, R. Kelly, he did it bad. I still remember that bad motherfucker. So, you listen to that. But them niggas know, by them being around, they know, they got the ear to at least do it so well. They know Screw at least close to him and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you a perfect example. Now, this is why I say this nigga Ye, but man, this nigga be on some genius shit. When you go listen to Sophia Fresh, and he got the chops on that bitch, like the Screw shit, like he emulated Screw. That's how you can tell this nigga, and maybe he didn't. He may be just, if he got it while doing what I think he did, he really is a fucking genius. But you can tell this nigga went and listened to not just anybody. He went and listened to DJ Screw and patting his chops on that song after DJ Screw, right? Cause when I said, man, that boy, he understands. That guy gets it. He may not be Screw, but he gets it. T-Pain, not so much. I love the nigga music. Don't ever get it fucked. As a matter of fact, I think they fucked over that nigga with the music industry, which is the fucking music industry. That ass a bitch nobody loves. I mean, the music industry as a whole, it loves no one. That's what I've come to notice. But without saying nobody else was supposed to tamper, because even Kanye did that. He did the 808s and Heartbreaks. I think just a lot of niggas just started. There's a lot of guys that came and, but it was like too much, man. We got to the point where everybody using the bucket. It's like, they not even rapping regular no more. Everybody, oh man, emo thugging shit. Oh, my heart's gone, but I'm gonna shoot you first. All this old shit. I don't know, they want to cry or kill a nigga and shit. Oh, I ain't going crazy. You niggas crazy. Man, hold up, bro. I don't want to go over the mall and be mad because I can't upload this shit. But I think they fucked over that guy, man. Because I tell you why I told you Teddy Russell shit, right? And this nigga Teddy P. I fuck with T-Pain. Don't get it fucked up. Bartender, buy you a drink. All that shit is classic music to me. I love it. I mean, especially the bartender. That's my shit. Don't get it fucked up. I hate the fact they muscle him out or whatever the fuck happened. It's like all these other niggas started doing it, and all of a sudden the nigga that it really is Roger Troutman. Roger Troutman rolls him up. The guys that do that, or they'll do that, they'll come through somebody else and bring their shit back up to life, even though they're not here no more. And he had spurts of guys that was contemporary, probably before Roger Troutman, because he didn't invent the voice box and shit. But he was the guy that took it to another level. So T-Pain did that, because we get to get a little bit of that Roger Troutman-ish energy. And he's a trout mouth nigga. Look at Trout. He's a deity nigga. Fish, water, Troutman, trout. Go look at Roger Troutman's mouth. He has a trout mouth. And I'm not knocking. I'm not making fun of him. But no, go look at him and look at a trout. Or look at he has a fish mouth. Trout, fish, trout man, fish man, O-ends, water, ScrewDay. I'm on fire. That's all. Oh yeah, you got this shit just comes naturally influence, and it happens. But I didn't like how all of a sudden everybody else started doing it, and the nigga who was pretty much doing it the best, they just said, rub them out the business. People just stopped saying, let's go get T-Pain and make it a hit. You know what I mean? Just doing our stuff, and some of us half-ass doing it. I ain't like that, bro. And it made him irrelevant and shit. Like he's a fucking relic or something. That nigga's supposed to have, I like T-Pain's music. They didn't like that shit. That's just my thing, my opinion or whatever. So don't think that I'm knocking him, but that nigga rendition of Chopping Screw is some bullshit. That chop. See, that's how most niggas who don't know what the hell is going on sound. You gonna listen to Chopping Screw with Luda and double back on the thing about Screw having influence, at least partially on trap music. I remember when Ciara dropped, and she got a little that Texas twang, and she had an Austin stint here, that through that Army Kid thing. I think she had a little Army base out here, but I don't know what years and shit. Don't quote me on that shit. I'm not reading that. But I remember that was like before, if I'm not mistaken, trap beats. You had trap music, but I don't. Correct me if I'm wrong. Rescue me if I'm wrong. But the trap beat shit didn't really start till a little bit after the Houston explosion shit. Which trap beat ain't nothing but a syrupy, which it sounds like Screw. But even you could see the influence with Ciara when she got the slow. I still remember the first time I heard that shit. So, and Rescue me if I'm wrong. I'm not, this is not no big deal. I know you niggas like to fight over this type of shit. Oh, nigga, it's the trap. We done that shit. Man, fuck Houston. I'm not here for all that, bro. This is just music. If I'm wrong, fuck it. I ain't wrong. Who cares? I'm not here to argue with you niggas about dumb shit. Like the nigga claimed, we were out to fight over some bullshit. Or whatever he said. He said it like that. We don't have to get into a fight over anything. Yeah, he's right. This is music, so they don't give a fuck about it. There ain't no fear or no shit. I don't know why they're trying to get me now. I'm just being logical about this shit. Let me give you one more thing. I'm gonna go fuck your head up. Think of the game. Watch this. Now in China, I'm gonna have to do a part 2 to this. But in China, you got a horse head deity and an ox head deity. The horse head deity is called Ma Mian. It's a protector deity. So that's something you can call on for protection. And it escorts motherfuckers to hell. Yeah. But then this though, this is 4 corners of the world right here, right? This the album cover, the CD, the Screw. He had each cover had his playlist on the back of it. Now I'm gonna show you something. It's kind of backwards, but let me get my thing right. Show you something. Now look at this right here. Okay. Where we at? Right, this is 4 corners of the world. 4 cardinal points of the world. Where we at? It's kind of fucking me up because it's backwards, but right here, let me get right there, y'all. Right here. You see that? This is my. This right here, that is me. Get up on there. And then you got an in. This right here is this is new, but that's the end. So you got my, me, and in. These 2 different songs right here, but this is my, M-Y, M-E, me. Hello, my, me, and then you got the end. But do you see how it's shaped like a horse face? See how that? Shit is real as a feel. Deal with it. I'll be back, man. Y'all niggas song. Hang tight. Peace.